did you feel more comfortable and everything as the Godfather than you did any other character that you?
Of course.
Yeah, I mean,
just
that was
me.
just, yeah.
It's me being out there just talking, having fun.
Was it almost kind of like a, man, finally, I get to be.
Vince told me one time, you ought to be paying me. And I'm like, if you let me keep doing this, maybe I will. Dude, I was having the time of my life, man.
This is where I just go, ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by Happy Dad. I'm going to sit over in the chair now, and I'm going to let two old friends just
let it go,
run the next 2 hours, and I'm just going to sit back and laugh.
Well, yeah, laugh you want, but this may be the last show that they
No.
that YouTube puts us on.
I've calmed down. I'm a new man.
Yeah, no, you are. You've changed. Yep. But if we talk about the things that we've done through our course of our 30, oh my gosh, how long have we been friends? 31? Wait. What year is this?
This is 24.
Since 88?
Yeah, 88, 89.
Yeah, it was when we met. And
that's 36 years.
36 years.
Wow.
That is crazy, man. And we met in the ring.
That's right.
How long were you?
I was greener than Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
I literally was in wrestling school for a very short time in New Jersey. And most of that time, I mean, I know this is a G program, right?
Yeah, it's fine. You're fine.
Most of the time I was in strip clubs and drinking Jack in strip clubs instead of going to school. Mm-hmm. Jerry Lawler seen me. And all I knew, I swear, all I knew how to do was lock up. Didn't know how to do that well, and that's it.
No, you don't have to convince me. So you go, and that was Sharp. Was that who?
Larry
was that?
Sharp.
Yeah. So Larry Sharp school. So Lawler brings you into Memphis, and at the same time now I'm finishing up in Dallas. And they're telling me, hey, we got this guy for you to work with. Because I think you had already worked with Lawler. Right? So what happens after you work with Lawler, a lot of times you get let go if you don't have somebody to go with. So I wanted to come back to Nashville. So I'm driving back. I worked my last show in Mesquite, Texas, and I load up my Ford Escort with everything.
Was it red?
Yeah, it was red. And I'm driving from Mesquite, Texas to Memphis. And I'm going to get to Memphis it was a Monday night.
Big show.
Yeah, the Memphis show on Monday night. And that's a pretty healthy drive. And I've got Tojo Yamamoto's dog in the car with me. It's just like a calamity of just different circumstances. Anyway, by the time I get to the building, and they're like, get dressed. Soul Taker's already in the ring. So we have never met, never seen each other, never talked, anything, right? I get dressed real quick, and boom, I make my entrance in the ring. I get to the ring, and I see this joker, and he, I don't know, but you were what, 6'6", 6'7"?
At least 300 and something pounds.
Oh, 330 if he's an
probably.
ounce, right? Black dude, mohawk, all tatted up, and I'm thinking, oh my Lord. And all I got was, I didn't know he's not been in the business real long. I'm like, oh, fine, that's fine. Lord have mercy. We lock up.
You knew right then, didn't you?
Oh yeah, as soon as we locked up, like I almost passed out. It was like he had me in a rear naked choke, and it was in the collar. We were in collar and elbow. I was like, big man, all right, lighten up a little bit. I said, this is what I want you to do. Cut me off, turnbuckle me, come get me, turnbuckle me again. He throws me so damn hard across the ring. As I'm going across the ring, I think maybe one foot touches. And the rest of it, I'm airborne. And I turn and I hit the turnbuckle, right? The top rope snaps off. And when I catch my breath, because the eye bolt is, it becomes into play when the tension comes off at the top rope.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, good Lordy. And he's coming at me because I had told him to come get me and do it again. And he's grabbing me by the arm to shoot me back across to a top rope that is not there. And I'm like, I got my heels dug into the mat. The mat's like rolling up. And I'm like, whoa, throw me out here, buddy. I think he clobbers me a couple of times and then cans me out of the ring. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what have I got myself into here? And I mean, at this point, I'd only been in the business a few years, but so I'm still green, but my gosh. So I am like, and he's coming after me. I mean, I'm thinking like, dude, this dude don't like white dudes. He's trying to kill me. So I am trying to stay away from him. So I'm out on the floor and I go around one post and I'm looking around. I hit the second post and I find what I'm looking for. And that's a chair. And he has such tunnel vision. He's just trying to get his hands on me. And he came around that corner and I hit him as hard as I could possibly hit him. And I didn't care where. I think I caught him in the side of the head. Wherever I hit him, I swung that chair as hard as I could. And down he goes. And I was like, man, I got one chance right now. And I said, you want to do this the easy way or you want to do it the hard way? And I was praying, right? He was going to say easy way. And thank goodness he looked up at me and he was, we do it the easy way.
You know, in the cartoons, when somebody gets a collision or something, they see the stars?
Yeah.
I seen the stars. And I remember he hit me so, I wish we had a film of it because it was a shoot.
Oh,
and
my
another
gosh.
thing is, I thought wrestling was a half-ass shoot anyway.
Yeah, he didn't
I was
know.
green. I didn't know. Nobody ever smartened me up.
How many matches had you had at this point?
Just matches against Jerry Lawler with him calling everything and me just doing what Jerry Lawler told me to do. And then, they brought Taker in. And mind you, at that time, I'm a biker. I'm not no just dude. I'm like a real hardcore biker. And I see him, and I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm like, here's another one of these white boys like I'm going to have to deal with.
Judging a book by its cover.
Okay, I'm like, but he don't have no tattoos, so that's kind of weird. And I'm this and that, because I'm used to dealing with nothing but bikers. But, I mean, I was still, I was green, yeah, but he smartened me up real quick. Real quick.
Became best friends. And so then they didn't know what to do with us. So now they put us together in this territory.
Death Express.
They put us together. Now, I'd already been through the territory once.
Okay.
So I'd been there, and then I went back to Dallas, and I'd worked there for the second time. So I'm coming back. I'm a little bit bitter, about how things run. Back then, all wrestlers were all paranoid. Promoters always trying to screw you.
Right.
You don't look at the fact that you're just, at this point in our careers, we're just getting in the ring, and that's what we need more than anything. I mean, we did need to eat, which we didn't get paid enough to do most times.
No.
But it is what it is. It's paying dues. But I'm a little salty, and he's really big, aggressive, and green. And they put us together. And there was legitimate fear in guys' face. When we have squash matches at TV, and you look at these, two guys from Dothan, Alabama, that drove all night to come up to do Memphis TV, and you could just see the fear in their eyes.
I can only imagine. What was your tag team name?
Death Express.
Death Express.
Death Express.
Yeah. The Master of Pain and the Soul Taker.
Can you Master of Pain and the Soul Taker? Dressed like bikers.
Dressed like bike. We had leather chaps,
Leather, yeah.
and vests. And I had a studded dog collar. And
So now I do know there's a famous promo that you guys cut, right?
man.
That I've seen that's on the internet. And
But in my defense, I'm green. I'm not used to doing promos. And before this, Larry Sharp, Nate the Rat, and I had a manager that would speak for me. So with you is the first time I actually started talking.
yeah. So I've got, if you go back in that time period, there's stuff that pops up. And my promo skills were not where they might be at this point in my career. So we had to go out on whatever day it was. We had to drive out to Jerry Jarrett's house, and we cut promos. I had like a pseudo studio set up, and we would cut promos for the towns that we were going to, and they would be 5-minute promos.
that's a long time.
That's a long time to talk with Green and Greener, and we were looking at each other. He goes, hey, "I'll start, and then you finish it." And I was like, oh, "Okay, cool, right?" And because all right, I'm a little more polished. Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee, when we get to that armory in McMinnville, we're gonna beat whatever. You're gonna beat you up. Tell him, big man.
10 seconds.
If that. And I'm looking at him like, I've got 4 minutes and 45 seconds I've got to fill now. You never heard so many, let me tell you, brother.
Hogan stole it from you.
Oh my gosh, man. I went to everything that I'd ever heard in any promo. It just, and we were still short. Like, I was like, I can't, there's nothing else that I can say. Like, if I see your dog, I'm going to kick your dog. I was like,
Tell him, big man.
oh yeah, tell him, big man. That was shit. Oh my gosh. I was like, this is not going to be good.
Oh my God! And that was just the beginning of things. Just the beginning.
Yeah. You still as hard headed as you've
No.
always been? No.
No, I'm not going to get started on that.
You're not even going to get started.
No, because I still blame. I'm not going to get into it, but I still blame you for my second marriage. I'm not going to get into it, but
Wow.
and you know why?
Anyway,
Reached out. Reached out. Help me. Reached out.
wow. Anyway,
But we'll let that go. But no,
yeah,
I'm not. I'm not as hard headed as nowhere near as hard headed as I used to.
you didn't help me much either.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like y'all were both bad influences on each other.
Oh, dude, look, you heard him say, I didn't have a tattoo on me. Like, he's just been such a horrible influence on me. Like, no. I mean, I was like, I don't know, I was like Norman Rockwell. Just
Norman Rockwell.
Yeah, I mean, if you like had like the stereotype, I was just a young athlete, and then I get tied up with this guy. The next thing you know, I'm sleeved out.
Jack Daniels.
Country drinking
music.
country. I didn't even listen to country music. Like, that's pretty much all I listen to now is country music.
Motorcycles.
Motorcycles, the whole deal. Now I had rode motorcycles a little bit, but I didn't get to the culture until this.
All I did was open your eyes up.
Is that
It
what
was
it
in
is?
you, and it had to come out.
It was in me, and it
had to
come
come
You
out.
saw it in him.
I seen it in him.
Oh.
I just had to show him the light,
Show him the light, man.
and he busted down that door with it too. It became the American badass, and that's what
Lordy.
he did. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, it was. The funny thing. So, shortly after, during that run, I get the call, like that second Memphis run. I get the call. Sid had got hurt. I got the call to come up to be Danny's partner, and then he left shortly
I went
after
to
that.
Germany.
And he goes to Germany. So we kind of we move away. We don't. Back then, you didn't have cell phones.
Yeah.
And, we kind of lost contact for a little bit there, and then I don't even remember where we ended up meeting up again. But somehow we met up. And
Did you do that movie sometime in between that? The movie
yeah,
you did?
I did did the world's worst movie before I started with WWE, Suburban Commando. If you're curious,
Yes.
I think you can find it.
I think
Those 38-cent residual checks.
I don't think it
they
ever
come
even
in
got on
handy.
DVD. I think it just stays in VH. Do you still get
I
checks?
still get checks, man. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man. Every once in a while, I'll get one that's like $1.25.
The next one you get, let's frame it and hang it up in here.
Oh
So-
yeah, it'll be It's been a while since I've got one for Suburban Commando, but I still get them. But anyway, he finally admitted last night. You were down there stuffing your face. He finally
he can eat.
He can eat, right? Pound for pound, dude. He's tough to.
I like it. I like food.
He likes
That's
food.
I can
But
tell.
he finally admitted that he went 10 feet in the snow that night.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I did not.
Say you drank too much
Whoa,
wine.
whoa.
What?
I said the only thing that I disagree in that story is that you say that I only went 10 feet. I say I went at least 10 yards. At least 10, maybe 7 yards.
You know what? I want you, because I've heard the story from him. I want your version of this story and tell the audience about what happened that night.
I'm not the whole story, but
All right, so this is 1989. We don't have cell phones. We don't. I mean, we've got the rotary phones, and he had an apartment. I had an apartment.
in Nashville.
Yeah, in Nashville, and so I'm gonna let you tell the story, but I'm just setting it up. So he was going to drive. He had a maroon Ford Taurus, and it was going to be me and him, and Dirty White Boy and Dirty White Girl. Mm-hmm. We were all going to share trans and go from. We all lived in Nashville. Monday night we'd go to Memphis.
200 miles.
200 miles. We drive back to Nashville. The next night we go to Louisville. We're gonna drive his car because we got 4 people. We're gonna drive his car. Go ahead.
So everything, I drove there, right? I drove to Memphis.
Yeah.
Okay,
The weather was fine.
weather was fine.
It was beautiful.
Weather was fine. Nice day. We drove. We get to Memphis, and Mr. Coffee, I think it was.
Yep. Mr. Coffee was in the back of the Midsouth Coliseum.
He comes and basically tells us that there's a storm coming. The show's been canceled. And we're kind of looking around going, look like no storm to us.
No, it wasn't a flake of snow, any rain, anything. It's just like it's cold, but
So we decided to stop and eat somewhere. It was maybe
TGIF.
okay, we stopped at TGIF's, and we probably all together had $15 in our pocket.
Yeah, I still remember that we had enough money to buy an appetizer.
Yeah.
And let's all like get either a water or like a Diet Coke, maybe maybe a beer.
Yeah, it was.
But
I mean, you're
just
getting
one.
paid $35, $50 for a show and spending $30 on gas.
Yeah, so that's what we do. We get our appetizer, and by the time we come out,
Ooh.
the sky has opened up, and it is a blizzard. And now we've got 200 miles to get back to Nashville. We don't have money. It's snowing so bad. Like if I'd have had the money, or any of us had money, we would have got a hotel.
Yeah.
And then just drove from Memphis to Louisville the next day. But we ain't got any money, so we've got to make this trek back to Nashville.
So
Go ahead.
So Taker goes, hey, man, you're from the West Coast. You're not used to driving in this, man. This is going to be bad. Let me drive. I'll get us in. No problem. I'm used to this. Let's do it. So now I'm like, okay, all right, let's do it. So he takes off. He's doing great. But, I mean, there's carnage everywhere. There's trucks slid, cars wrecked, deer on the road. It's just crazy, man. People on it's crazy. But he's doing a great job.
I'm doing 10 miles an hour,
But he's doing good.
but we're making progress.
Going between, he's doing good. For some reason, I don't know why, I decide, oh, wait, did we pull over?
Yes. So Kim, that's her name, right?
Yes,
Kim,
we pulled over.
White girl, she had to pee. So by this time we hadn't seen anybody in hours, like nobody on the road at all. And it's still kind of coming down, but she had to. We This has been 5 hours driving. And she had to pee. I stopped right in the middle of Interstate 40. And I said, all right, me and him went to the front of the car. She did what she had to do. And that's when he decides, hey, okay, we're like 50, 60 miles at this point outside of Nashville. He said, I'll bring us in. I was like, bro, I got this, man. I got us this far. We only got, at that point would have been another 2.5, 3 hours. I said, I got this, man. No, man, I got it. It's my car. Let me drive.
Hard hit.
I'm like, dude, I was like, I kind of got a feel for it now. No, man, I'm driving. Like just mean about it, right? I'm like, okay, man, go ahead. We all get back in the car. So,
Yes.
Did you take my advice?
Take your advice.
Yeah.
On what?
The thing.
Oh,
The thing.
the thing.
The thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Blue Chew is part of my daily vitamins.
Daily.
Hey, man.
Good on you, mate.
It's just
So
it's one of those things,
So the flag, is it full mast?
Oh, it's part of my supplement regiment at this point.
What else are you taking?
Flintstone vitamins and Blue Chew. That's essentially it.
It's a good mix.
And barbecue.
And barbecue.
Yep. Those things together have reignited my marriage and has taken our 22-year marriage now to new heights.
New heights.
Oh, yes.
See, I don't steer you wrong, brother.
Brother, let me tell you something.
Blue Chew.
I'm listening to your advice moving forward.
Brother, it's the real deal, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's like steroids for your wiener, but legal.
Hey, man, I'm taking my Blue Chew and saying my prayers, if you know what I mean.
I see what you did there, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Come on, hit me with one.
Oh,
Let me tell you something, brother.
let me tell you something, brother. When you get the Blue Chew in you,
You just chew it and do it.
just chew it and do it.
See?
Oh, yeah.
Easy, but easy now.
Take your Blue Chew and say your prayers.
Yeah, like good, man. Well, you're married. You don't have to say your prayers. Like you, hopefully, yeah. It's chew it and do
Hopefully,
it.
I don't have to take any other medication after this.
No, man.
But no, Blue Chew is an absolutely great product. And, it's something that, hey, if you just want a little boost in the bedroom,
I'm telling you, steroids for the wiener.
I like.
Can I say that?
I think that should be the new Blue Chew slogan. Steroids for your wiener.
Makes it hard and vascular and that's too much. That might have been too much.
Is Blue Chew considered a performance enhancing drug?
I would think so. I would think it is.
But
is it? But it's not. I don't think it's banned on the USADA.
it
drug
shouldn't
list.
be.
No,
It should
right?
be encouraged to
It should be
take.
encouraged, right?
Relieve some stress, bring some happiness to some folks. That's exactly what you want.
See, it's multiple. It serves multiple purposes.
Absolutely. Why don't you tell our people a little bit more about Blue Chew and how they can get some at a discount?
Oh, the discount.
That's the key part.
Chew it and do it. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in chewable tablets.
It's just easier.
It is. It's just easy. You just put it in there, you chew it, you do it. I'm just saying. Chewable tablets at a fraction of the cost. You can take them any day, anytime, or night. So you can plan ahead. You want to have date night. You know how to finish it off with the dessert. You know what I'm saying? You
I
can
like
plan
it with
ahead
breakfast.
or be ready whenever the opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at bluechew.com. You consult with one of the online licensed medical providers. This is no gimmick. This is the real deal.
This isn't gas station boner
No,
pills.
absolutely. But, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. And the best part, it's all done online, brother.
Discreet.
So no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, no waiting in a line at a pharmacy. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA, very important to us, and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package.
Just like mine.
Just very discreet. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex.
Yes.
We all want it.
We all want
it.
We all want it. Bad sex is for the birds.
It is overrated. Discover your options at bluechew.com. Here we go, baby. Chew it
and do it.
And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code 6feet at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code 6feet to receive your first month free.
Best price ever.
Free is good. That's a damn good price.
Great price.
Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring 6 Feet Under, the podcast, the end all podcast.
This is where there's a difference in this story. I take off. You know what? I went at least 10 yards, and then I think I had to swerve to hit a deer or something. So I turned the wheel. The car started spinning. Thank God I saved that deer's life. And then because of the spinning, I tried to correct it, tried to oversteer, and somehow we ended up in a ditch. Kind of.
There was no
teetering.
deer. Let me just clarify that there was no deer.
There was you didn't see that deer?
No. There was no deer.
No.
Absolutely no deer. And
sure?
it was a scene. It was like the scene in a movie. Like we're like this from the road to the ditch. The car, the front right car, the front right wheel is not touching anything.
God, I'm laughing too hard.
The car.
He's over off the
It's just teetering. I had to go out through the driver's side so that the car did not flip into the ditch. So now the four of us are standing in the middle of Interstate 40.
10 feet away from where you just got that peeing.
Taker's hot. He's hot now. He's
Pissed.
He's pissed. Looking at me just like
I'd put in all these hours of drive, and I'm telling you, like, if I got up to 15 miles an hour, it was like white knuckle, because it was just I can't even begin to tell you the amount of cars that are already in the ditch and semis that are in the ditch, and it's still snowing and there's fog. It's the worst storm I'd ever been in.
Yeah.
It is the worst, absolutely
You
worst.
shouldn't have let me drove. You should have been insistent. Hey, no, you ain't doing it.
Oh, it's my fault now.
I mean,
So we're standing out in the middle of Interstate 40, and I'm just staring a hole in it.
Freezing your balls off.
Freezing, like, yeah, I can get shit for a jacket or anything, right? I can't even afford an appetizer at TGI Fridays. And I'm just staring at him. I won't fucking hear it. I don't want to hear it. It's like, man, we could be halfway. We could be halfway to our apartments by now.
and we were rescued.
Oh, so finally, we're standing out. I don't know, maybe 45 minutes. We're standing in the middle.
Lord.
And it's
I
barely
don't think nobody passed. us
nobody.
either.
There's nobody.
There's nobody.
Nobody coming our way. Finally, we see headlights going the opposite direction. It's a highway patrolman. And we're like, oh my gosh, we're saved, right? So this highway patrolman sees us, and finally he goes down. He's got chains on his wheels. He turns around. He's like, what are you guys doing out here? We're freezing. That's what we're doing. Why are y'all out here? Like, well, we're trying to get to Nashville. He said, well, I said, our car's over there in the ditch. He's like, oh. Yeah. I said, can you give us a ride to somewhere? And he goes, well, the next exit up, there's like an inn, like a motel. I mean, like Norman Bates type shit, right? And he goes, I can take y'all up there. I was like, we're like, fine. Yeah, that if you don't mind, if you'd give us a ride up there, right? So they start piling in. Tony and Kim, Bear start piling in the back, and I'm gonna get in the front, right? I'm gonna get in the passenger side seat. He goes, "Oh no." He says, "You can't sit up there. You got to get in the back."
Tony's got to be 300 pounds.
Tony,
300.
250, 275, 330, probably 315, 320. Thank goodness Kim was 95 pounds. I think she laid across the three of us. We are squeezed in there like sardines in a can in the back of a squad car. And you know they got the metal retaining wall back there.
Yeah.
And we can't even breathe. You can't even take a deep breath. We're squeezed in there so tight. We drive up. He lets us off at the end.
How did we pay for it?
So Tony had just enough money on his credit card for a deposit. Like, and it was like $35 for this. This is 1989, and it was not that expensive, but we just didn't have any money.
My wife, I think, Instagrammed or whatever, not Instagram, with MoneyGrammed us some money because I blew out the tire, and it had to be towed, and then they had to fix something.
And then the snowblowers too. They came through and put the car in the ditch so that, for whatever reason,
hardhead.
He had to get up early, get the car. We get to Nashville just long enough for everybody to go home for like 10 minutes.
Go to work.
And then we had to turn around and drive to Louisville, Kentucky.
To make another $35.
To make another $35.
Those are the adventures and stories you remember.
10 feet.
No.
10
no, come
feet.
on. That's
10
not even
feet.
the length of the car.
10 feet. We're in a slide.
The deer.
The deer.
It was
the deer. When the deer saw you get behind the wheel, the deer ran the other direction. 10 feet. I'm like, oh, we're going. And then it's like this. We're just teetering on the edge. I don't want to hear it. And then from that point on, it's just been one adventure after another.
Oh my God.
What happened in Louisville the next night? Do you remember that match at all? I mean, were y'all?
I couldn't tell you.
Were you pissed off and
Dude,
tired?
Exhausted is what we were. We didn't
You
get
did
any
a lot of
sleep.
traveling back then.
Oh, dude, I put on that
Ford
Escort I had in 8 months. I put like 45,000 miles on it.
You drove a lot.
And was it just bouncing around like that? You had that one territory, and it was just bouncing from city to city, 200 miles away from each other on most of them.
Well, they were set. Monday night, you worked Memphis. So we lived in Nashville. So Monday night was Memphis. Tuesday night was Louisville. So you're driving, and then you drive back to Nashville. Wednesday night was either Evansville or
Usually
Owensboro.
Evansville or Owensboro. That's payday.
Yeah, so that's where you got paid on Wednesday. Thursday and Friday were spot shows, which were usually further down close to Memphis because you had to be at Memphis, the TV studio,
Saturday morning
for Memphis TV, and then you drove back to Nashville for the house show Saturday night.
Yep.
Sundays we had off.
Yeah. And then have to go right back to Memphis on Monday.
Yeah, and then
Why
back
didn't
to
y'all just live in Memphis?
It's too much traffic.
It would have been.
That would be adding 150 miles to your trip.
So I feel like you had multiple days where you had to be in Memphis.
Yeah, but after you did Memphis TV, you still had to go back to Nashville to do the house show.
And then you had to come back from Memphis on Monday.
And then Louisville on Tuesday. So Louisville's north, Evansville is north.
So Nashville was a little bit. I mean, it was more
it was
centered.
centrally low. It was centrally located. Yeah, and we put some miles on some vehicles, man.
Ooh.
So you're putting 45,000 miles a year on a car, and you weren't driving more than 500 miles at a time. It doesn't sound like.
No. We were.
It was just
back. Yeah, it was the same. It was the same trips. You know, the McMinnvilles and Jonesboroughs and all these places.
Who traveled? It was me and you and mostly me and you.
Yeah, it was mostly me and you. I don't know. Frankie Thumper there? No, that was the second time around. Dutch probably was in there with us.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, plus we both lived in Nashville, so
Yeah.
it was easy for us to do it.
Yeah.
Those are some good times, though. I mean, those are the funny stories. Broke
Broke as
money,
hell, man. We so broke we couldn't pay attention.
You remember going to Wendy's and somebody would pay us? Wendy's was one of the first restaurants that had a buffet. I think it was Wendy's.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'd go there and one person would pay for get the receipt and then eat and then meet the other guy in the bathroom and give him the receipt. And then give it to, because we had no money.
We
used to do a cup of pickles at Burger King. So you'd go to Burger King, you'd order a hamburger, get it, go sit down. All you'd order was the hamburger. That was it. Go back up and go, hey, can I get some extra pickles? And they'd always put them in a cup. And it's just like a small cup. You go back, empty out the pickles, you go over and get yourself a drink. And then pay for the drink.
That's thinking, though.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so
the
we
things
would
you do.
We would do that, to
survive.
Yeah, just to save an extra $1.50, whatever it was, for a soda.
Oh, my God.
Yes. But those things, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, it builds friendships, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Hard times build a friendship and a bond that's hard to break between. And I mean, you guys, it's very rare you find two folks that have a 36-year long friendship like y'all have.
Yeah.
And I think it's built through being
Those
on the
times.
road, the hard times, the tough times, just
Marriages,
trying to scrape it together.
marriages,
kids, good kids, good
Just
times,
life.
bad
Good- yeah.
times. By the time that we get back, we hook back up, and he comes in as Papa Shango, and so I'd already been there. I think you came in 92,
91, I think.
91, yeah. So, man, when he came in, ooh, Lordy, we had our. You talk about a couple degenerates, man. We had it down.
Yes.
We had it down.
Well, now
to
you got a little bit of cheese.
Yeah. We ain't got to worry about the miss a meal cramps anymore.
No. We had it down.
Yeah. We did.
Sleep when you're dead.
That was our motto.
Yeah.
We'll sleep when we're dead. We didn't. We hardly. Only time we ever slept was on airplanes.
How many times did we come back to our hotel room just to never slept in the hotel room,
Never
just
even-
to pick
yeah.
up our bags to go to the airport?
Yeah. That was
And
mainstay.
you know what? We never missed the show, though. Never, no matter
And
what.
he talks about that all the time.
Yeah.
We never missed the show. Even after that thing with you, I didn't miss that show,
Yeah.
which I'm sure we're going to talk about sooner or later.
Yeah, so just because we talk about, I'm going to wait still for a while before I give the details of the one Deadman show in Vegas.
You can just forget about it if
Yeah,
you want.
well,
Move
I
on.
may-
We don't
I
have to
may.
talk about it.
I might actually try and forget about it.
I wish you would.
But you had to. I was fortunate enough. I got to sleep in the next day. He had to get on a plane and go to Canada.
Oh, I know. Yeah. You were texting me the next day because I was concerned about you.
Yeah.
I was concerned that
You
you weren't going to make the
You should have been, because
flights.
you're one of the reasons I was like that.
Hold on. There is.
He had one job.
Okay.
Entertain my guests.
I did nothing
Oh, okay.
wrong.
Here we go.
Can I tell my little side of this story?
Go, please, because I
So
like the
you
truth.
tell me what we're doing. Cool. Matt's going to come in, the 9-line crew, and that we're going to go to dinner with these guys. So I show up to dinner, and Midian's there. I was surprised Midian was there, but Midian's there. And all of a sudden, this one here and the whole group starts pouring me Jack, feeding it, pushing it down my throat. Next thing I know, I'm 6, 7, 8 shots of double Jack in, and they get another bottle. They just keep pushing it on me. And then we make our way to your place, and you're doing a meet and greet. So we pop a bottle there, and we drink a bottle. And then you come in. The first thing you do is you pop a Coors Light and open another bottle of Jack.
This story
Well,
is completely.
I hadn't seen you in a while.
This story is
Okay,
completely
so-
different than the story that you tell, and the dinner story is completely different than the truth. So
Different than the truth. That's the way I see it.
first of all, at dinner, we sit down at dinner. Okay, the waitress comes around.
Yes.
Me being polite. Hey, Bear, go ahead. You order a cocktail.
Okay.
And my brother is sitting across from me and goes, well, if you're going to drink a cocktail, I'll drink a cocktail. You and my brother started drinking. cocktails.
It was
And-
probably like a mojito or something like that, right?
I think it was a Cuba Libre.
Yeah. And it was Jack and Coke is what it was. That was your cocktails. And you had several of them at dinner, but you were in good shape. Now, when we dropped you off at the venue, whatever happened after that was completely out of my control. I did my job.
You started the train rolling.
I just wanted to take you to have a nice steak. That's what my goal was.
Not one of my finest moments. And because of that, I mean, it's hard to get me to take a shot of Jack these days. You know what? I'm blessed is they weren't allowed. There was no cameras there.
Yeah, that's a rule. Yes.
Thank God, because
So, Bear,
I don't know. We would have blew up on the internet.
Oh, brother.
We get so many comments, so many people. I want details of Vegas. I want details of Vegas. And we
couldn't
have a
give
few
you-
people in there like, hey, I was at the show. And you know what? Our fans have been really good about keeping it close to the vest as well that night and
Yeah.
allowing that moment to be told by you guys when it is
At the right time.
at the right time.
I think, you know what? If I think if I continue to do this, you know, which is iffy at best, as you well know, if we make it to 750,000 subscribers,
Okay.
we'll do a BSK show, because I think if I have the rest of my crew here, that story will be even better.
Let me put it this way. What if we do this? If we were able to hit 1 million, I'll up the ante. If we hit 1 million, would you want to do a BSK reunion at WrestleMania like this?
How long?
Not,
are we at?
you know,
Oh,
just private, just us sitting down.
Do a podcast. 1 million. We hit 1 million subscribers. We do 1 million. We'll do a BSK podcast. Everybody there.
Everybody there.
Okay.
And I think WrestleMania is probably the easiest way to do it. Just
Yeah,
'cause usually everybody's
usually
in town.
around.
So we can forget about the other story.
Yeah.
With me. We don't have to ever let that out.
Well, it'll probably come out that day, but
And there'll
okay.
probably be Jack Daniels that day.
I couldn't tell you what happened because the last I remember, and I also blame I blame a lot of people, but I also blame Midian because Midian.
Okay, God, you were pointing like you're going to blame me, and I'm like, this one, you're going to
it's not
have
your
to
fault.
stretch.
Well, it wasn't your fault.
Yeah. So yeah, Midian, yes.
But when I walked out, one of the guys tells me, "Hey, when you walk out there, there's a bottle of Jack on the table. So what you want you to say, as soon as you go out there, say, hey, I don't believe there's a bottle of Jack here, not open." That's where it started. I don't really remember much after that. I really don't. And I hear that I was
The bottle didn't stay closed, and the bottle didn't stay full.
Somebody told me that we drank a bottle of Jack like in minutes, 15, 20.
Godfather, I am not exaggerating. It was at no more than 20 minutes that bottle was gone.
And this wasn't no little fifth.
No,
or
no,
this
no. It was one of the big bottles.
Yeah.
And y'all knocked it out less than 20
Don't
minutes.
look at me like that.
I'm trying to tell a story. No, this is actually we had this discussion on another podcast recently of the first 45 minutes of the show and then the second hour of the show.
The first 45 minutes was a TED Talk. You know, Taker comes out there, and I mean, it's motivational. People are taking notes. I know, man, I'm going to walk away from this a better human being. I didn't know that Taker had this like story to tell. And then you walk out, and
fresh off of your hip surgery, I think.
the Jack
vein.
started flowing, and the funniest part of it all was, you know, I'm sitting back and I'm on that front row, and I'm right by Midian.
My wife's there. My youngest son's
she's
there.
right behind me, and Midian is bitter because he's not up on stage. You know, the whole time he's like,
he was
"Yeah,
boo-boo faced the whole time.
I was there for that one. Yeah, I was there for that one." And he's boo-boo faced, and I'm just looking up at Taker, and I'm just like,
He's giving me the Iggy.
stop. My brother's looking at me. He's like, "What do we do?" And I was like, "He just needs to
I think
stop."
my wife was trying to say, get him off of there.
You know who's loving it? Tyler from 9 Line. Tyler's sitting there he is like, He looked at him the next day. We're at dinner, and he goes, "You know, the first 45 minutes was, to be honest with you, a little boring. I really loved the second half of the show."
It came completely off the rails. That was his favorite
And
part.
Ben, Ben's trying to shut the show down, and he's supposed to be doing Q&As. Y'all are up there at this point. He's forgot that he's at a show, and Ben's like, "Got it, we got to go." And he's like, "We're not going."
That's right. You had to be a little lifted too after drinking a bottle of Jack.
You think?
I don't remember. I really don't remember. I don't know what I said. What I heard, I took my shirt off. I threw my hat.
You threw your hat. You didn't take your shirt off, but you did. You threw your hat to me, and
there?
I'm wearing your hat during the show. And the show gets done. We go in the back, and we're outside his green room, and I haven't seen you at this point. Now you've gone off stage. You come rolling up in a wheelchair, and I'm like, "What in the world has happened?" And you are literally. He's like, "Matt, what's up?" And I was like, "Here's your hat, Bear." I was like, "I don't think you want. I don't need your hat, man. I'll give your hat back to you." Your wife, but your wife, first time I ever met her, sweetheart of a lady, and she was just smiling and laughing about everything. And she was like, "He's got to go to Canada tomorrow for an appearance."
She's seen it all.
And
anyway.
I'm like, "This man's not going to get through customs." I was like, "He is that drunk." I was like, "There's no way."
And your show started like 11 o'clock at night.
It was late.
It was late.
So it was like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, it was late.
If it wasn't for my son, Ty, who was living with us at the time, he came in there, because you know how we are. You get everything
packed and
ready to go in case of emergency situation. You got to just grab your bag and roll. And so I was in that. And so he woke me up, and I got into that wrestling mood. I jumped up, grabbed my bags. They dropped me off at the airport. It did not hit me until I got on the plane. And the plane, I was in first class, and the plane's spinning. Now I'm like, whoa. And I haven't eaten. And once the plane got in the air, I just say that I spent a lot of time in the bathroom.
Purging his
to where they were asking me, "Are you sure you're okay?" And I'm telling them, "I think I have food poisoning." All right. I had to go to Canada through Detroit. So that means now you have to drive
across
through.
the bridge.
And they're asking me questions, and I'm telling them, "I don't know," because now I'm the bear. I'm not Godfather. Now I'm the bear. I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. Why? I don't know. I don't know what hotel I'm staying at. I don't know what, I'm being like that now." And so then they say, "Well, you guys got to pull over here." And I'm like, "Man, just pull around. I don't want to go to Canada no more." I'm like that. So we go into
I've seen that many times.
Yes. I'm not this nice, happy guy right now that you guys are seeing. A biker bear. And so now we pull, and I'm mad. I'm walking in there, and the guy goes, "Godfather, what's up, eh?" And it just made the whole situation lighter. And I'm like, "Oh, dude, man, yeah, I'm hungover." And he's like, "Okay, man, Rich." And they sent me through for I'm not joking. I told you this last night. For 10, 12 days, dude, I was sick. Like, real sick.
Y'all put down a lot of
And
Jack.
since then, I had 4 drinks on the plane yesterday.
Ooh, man.
We didn't have any last night.
Nope.
And thank you for doing that.
Y'all had no Jack at the dinner table?
None.
I asked him, I texted him and said, "Please, no Jack shots." And he says, "We're going to dinner. That's on you," or something.
Yep.
Yeah. I told Dalton, who runs this whole deal here, and I was like, it's funny when I came here, he goes, "How was last night?" I said, "It's funny how things go from like when you're younger and you're doing shots and everything to last night. It was just red wine and steaks, and it was very calm comparatively."
On the real, this is being serious, being very serious. I wanted to apologize to you, man, because it hurt me, because you're a good friend of mine. You're my bro. And it hurt me that I let you down on that thing.
Oh, man.
No, seriously.
Dude,
and I just
please.
wanted you to know that, man, because, woo.
Dude,
I called you the next day, and you said, "Happens, bro. Happens."
It happens, man. There's
been so
it is
many
a
funny
story
stories
that we add to our collection of stories that we have.
I don't like this one, though.
Well,
we can leave this one alone.
Well, we'll probably end up leaving this one alone.
You got
we'll
the
leave
hat,
this
you got
alone.
This was not my finer moment.
It was neither of our moments. We were
Matt started it all.
Yeah, he had one job. It's all Matt's fault.
Hold on.
Matt and Midian.
Here's the problem.
The problem is you started the Jack flowing.
No. Okay. So
If just think what would have happened if nobody would have had no shot to Jack. Would have been a great show. Everything would have been fine. But no. What do you want to drink, Papa Bear?
here's the problem. This is the second time I've had to deal with both of y'all like this.
Savannah, I forgot.
Wait.
This is the second time I've had to deal with y'all. Okay?
Savannah wasn't that bad, really.
Savannah wasn't that bad.
Not compared to Vegas, I don't think.
Bro.
Which time in Vegas?
Well, I might even get into one of these.
I bet you don't. I bet you don't. I bet you don't.
The one?
All right, Michelle, I had nothing to do with this if he does.
There
I'm
you
just
go.
telling you. I wasn't there.
Yeah, you were.
You better not get into
I
that
better
one.
not tell that one.
Nah, you better leave that one alone.
Yeah, that's the best story, though. Gosh, that one's good.
Cameras off. Cameras off story. Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. What were you about to say?
No, what I was going to say was, you're blaming me for Vegas, but I've witnessed this already in Savannah, and it was the first time you and I
Time
ever
out.
met.
I hate to cut the time out. Last night, I heard you say, I know that Taker and Bear's going to be drinking, so go ahead and put a bottle of Jack on their table, and if they go through that, put another bottle of Jack on their table. Did you or did you not say that last night?
I heard that. I got you back
That was
on
the
that
truth. Yes. I did not expect y'all to do that. That was
That would have been rude for us not to.
Yeah.
Let's get full context here. I show up to the charity event. I'm the MC, whatever, for the event. I was like, guys, a bus is going to be coming out, or a van's going to come out and get you guys at this time. Now I know you guys were pre-gaming it at the hotel to start with. All right. Yeah. So you guys were pre-gaming at the hotel.
What are you talking about?
And yeah, don't play coy with me. So you guys were pre-gaming at the hotel. You show up. I generously said, these guys, I don't want them having to go up to the bar, wait at the bar, take a bunch of pictures all night long. Let's keep a bottle of Jack at the table. I told one of the girls, keep an eye on that table. If they need anything, just bring it to them. The only reason they should get up is to go to the restroom, or if they want to mingle, they should never have to get up for anything else. Okay, great. Bottle of Jack's on the table. I do remember seeing you, I don't know, another 20 minutes into the show doing this number with an empty bottle of Jack Daniels to the girl.
Okay, but just to clarify, there were several people at our table.
Yeah, it wasn't just me and him drinking.
Well, first of all, there was 10 people at your table, 2 of which I know don't drink. One is...
Okay, it's 8.
Okay, you have 8. We're going to keep breaking this down. You've got Christy Swanson, Buffy Vampire Slayer. I don't think she's taking shots of Jack Daniels with you guys.
Would be surprised.
Oh, come on. Yeah, don't throw her under the bus on
I
this.
think I seen her tip a few.
Her husband Lloyd, I mean, he's a figure skater. He can't drink Jack Daniels. Come on.
What, just so we're wrestlers, we can. He can't.
I mean, y'all.
But all right.
Okay, so we're still at 6.
My brother's drinking Angel's Envy. He had his own bottle.
He's Rudy Poo. Yeah.
And then you had your boy Eduardo. Yeah, they became best friends.
He's drinking.
He's drinking. So the crazy thing is I'm seeing this happen, and I've realized that once the auction has happened, or once we get into the auction, this one over here is bidding on anything and everything. I'm auctioning off I'm auctioning off an ice shaker. He's like, oh, $5,000. And I'm like, no. Like, I'm honestly looking, no, this is like this is $20. Like, you don't need to be bidding $5,000 on this. Stop. So, end of the night comes around, and this one is having fun, and I hear an oak tree fall. And I look over, and he's getting up. And I'm like, what's going on here? And my brother's like, man, Eduardo wants to get choke slammed. And I was like, now, like, I know the rules. I know the rules. When you boys have some drinks, I'm on phone patrol. I'm nowhere near this situation at this point. So I'm running over going, please put y'all's phones. No, get your phones down. Get your phones down. This one's like, and I'm like, if he's trying to choke slam somebody, how drunk is he? Like, he doesn't do this. I was like, people ask for this all the time. And he's like, absolutely not. So now I'm like, okay, this is a bad situation, but I can't control this at this point. I just got to let it go. I just going to try to control the environment around it. He, chops Eduardo. Eduardo's nipple goes one way. Eduardo goes the other way. You're not helping. You're just over there laughing like you are right now with a drink in your hand. That turns into, all of a sudden I look over, you're throwing a chair across the room, and I'm like, oh God, get out of we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. We get in the Suburban. You get in the front. He gets in the back. He looks like a folded up card table. You pull the seat all the way back and lean it all the way back on him. We're going down the road. He comes over and just slaps me on my chest and grabs me and pulls my shirt. Buttons fly everywhere. You go, don't mess with the driver. The funny part about it all is at the end of the night, though, while we were still there, the lady that runs the venue, she goes, do you think the Undertaker and Godfather would sign one of the bottles of Jack Daniels they drank? And I went, it clicked. I said, one of the bottles? She goes, yeah. She goes, I said, how much did they drink? She goes, in all of the events that we've ever had here, we have never had anyone or any event, wedding, graduation, nothing, go through 3 bottles of Jack Daniels.
Wow.
And these 2 men went through 3 bottles of Jack Daniels tonight.
But you got a problem, man.
The next day was the funniest, though, because you're like, I'm not coming to the golf tournament. This one goes, what time's the golf tournament start? I said 9. He goes, have a car out front at 8:45. And he showed up. I don't know how you played golf that day.
Hey,
They were betting. They were actually betting on whether I was going to show up or not.
I would have bet he was going to show up because I know him. He don't miss no shows. He's going to show up.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I showed up at the end. Yeah, hey.
We had a nice dinner that night. And then the
Everything
next
was-
day, helicopter,
That
go
was-
shoot some guns.
that
have
was
a good
really
time.
fun.
Yeah.
That was really, but first, so you guys tell them, well, they're going to have a helicopter pick you and take her up and take you to the shooting event. And I'm like, wow, I think I've been in a helicopter. I shot this little movie scene. I was in a helicopter once. So I'm expecting this nice helicopter with 4, 5, 6 seats and got your headsets on and maybe a stereo. All of a sudden, they've got this old MASH-looking Army unit, 2-person, no door, no seat, no strap.
Little bird.
Little
It's a
bird.
little bird,
What's
man.
it called?
It's a little bird.
It's a little bird.
And I'm trying not to sell it, and I'm trying to be cool, and I'm like, man, I don't want to get on this thing. And I'm trying to be cool, and then that, and I sit there, I'm trying, and all they have to hold you in is a strap, like a strap.
Your feet are on the rungs
Yes.
of the helicopter.
And you're over there just smiling, enjoying it and stuff, and I'm sitting there going, so I'm like, I got to take my phone off, and I'm shaking. I was like trying to hold my phone and take pictures, dude. But best time. I had a great time there. Hopefully I get invited again. Day of shooting, helicopters. That was a really good barbecue.
Yeah, it was a good time. Arm wrestling, got to arm wrestle a world champion,
Yes.
arm wrestler, and yeah, that was fun. But so I've experienced this multiple times with you guys. But I mean, I would imagine that over the 36 years, it's happened more than twice.
Well, contrary to popular belief, like we're usually the two that kept it together the most.
Well, also you got to look at the crew you hung out with too. I mean, my
well,
God,
it was like,
We had to put a lot of people,
we
get
put a
them
lot
to
of
their
people
rooms.
get them
But
to
it was
their
always,
rooms.
no matter how bad we were, we always got them to their rooms. We always got each other to their rooms.
We leaned on each other quite a bit, but it was we always had to make sure that everybody got where they needed to be. 'Cause them Godwins, man, good Lord,
Hillbilly lover.
the Hillbilly Lover and Tex, man, whew, they were a handful.
Especially Tex.
Oh man, and Yoke never wanted to stop. Yoke couldn't sleep, so he just wanted to
Go all night.
Boy,
He wanted
Yoke
to go.
could drink some Jack.
Oh, he could.
He could drink some Jack.
I told this story. I'm trying to think where I told this story recently. I don't know if it was on our podcast or not, but the trip to the Philippines. So we go to the Philippines.
Didn't I see or something?
Yeah. So we're at this really nice high-rise hotel in the Philippines, and word gets around that the I think it was still F at the time, the WWF's there. So at the top of this high-rise, really bougie hotel, they got a nightclub, and they invite us up to the the nightclub. They've got a section all cordoned off for us, and we come. I mean, everybody was there. You, Yoke, Junior.
I think everybody.
I think everybody was there.
Crush was there. Everybody.
Yeah. And they had a live band, and it almost without fail, any place we ever went that had a live band,
I had to sing.
You got to get up and sing the blues.
Not sing, but
The
do my
blues is what I hear.
He'd sing the blues, man.
I can only do it drunk though.
But he's good. But hey, no.
But I would make up my own words.
Oh, yeah.
And I would talk about you or Macho, whoever.
Whoever he would see. That was the cool part.
I would just start
like,
talking a bit, but it was cool. It wasn't like I was making fun of you or nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I remember like he did DiBiase with Ted DiBiase. Boom, boom, boom. More money than God.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. And it's just off the
stuff.
cuff, right? But this particular night, it was like, which was not unusual for you. Your shirt come off.
Oh, Bear's out.
Bear is that? That's an indicator.
Bear.
If the shirt comes off,
Bear.
Okay, Bear's here. Well,
You got to watch out for him.
yeah, you do have to watch out for Bear.
He's not this guy.
But this particular night, everybody's shirts are off. And you remember Andrew Whitaker?
Yes.
So, like, Andrew Whitaker was like our liaison.
Yeah.
He was kind of, I don't even know how to describe his job, but so he comes up to me, right? Who's the voice of reason, right? And he goes, Taker, you got to get everybody to get their shirts on. I'm standing there without my shirt on, sweating like a pig, right? He goes, you've got to get everybody to get their shirts on. I'm like, Andrew, I'm not their daddy. These are grown men. If they want to take their shirts off, they're going to take their shirts off. I'm not in charge here. He goes, they're your guys. And I'm like, no, they're their own guys. They're going to do what they want to do. How about you go tell them? Y'all have fun. Yeah, it was basically, that was it. And we didn't pick on anybody. That was never our deal anyway.
No.
We didn't bully anybody. We were in our section. We spent a ton of money on booze. But for whatever reason, they didn't invite us back the next night. We were all, because we were in the same venue, I think, 2 nights in a row. We were all fired up, man. We're going to go back up to the club and have it. No, you guys aren't allowed the second night. Well, why not? Somebody may or may not have threatened a band member.
Was this the same time that me, you, and Yoko went to some club at night, and we were in a little small
Yes.
Filipino car? And
Yes. So it's the 3 of us. All the OGs, right, we're on a solo mission, and we're going to a different club
yes.
by ourselves. And so this little tiny, I don't know, kind of like a little bigger probably than a Mini Cooper,
Yeah.
has to fit in him, me,
And
and Yoko.
There's
Big
no way.
yoke.
Big yoke.
There's
Big yoke.
no way.
Big 600-pound yoke.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So he gets up front, and me and Yoke are in the back. There's so much weight in the car that the body of the car is pressed down and it's rubbing against the tires. And the guy's driving off, and you can hear it like. This one gets at the radio and turns the radio up.
You can't hear it.
Because we don't understand what he's saying, but he's like he knows something's wrong with the
Pissed
car.
off in any language.
Yeah, it's pissed off, right? So he's turning the music up so you can't hear the tires rubbing against the body of the car. And then now it's rubbed so long now that you can smell the burnt rubber. And he's like, oh no, keep going. We're almost there. And this guy is just freaking out, but he's got a lot of manhood in the car. And he's just driving
And he's little dude. You
and
know?
he's He's pretty persuasive when he's looking up over the guy like, no man, just keep driving. It's gonna be fine. And we get to where we're going, and we get out of the car, and there are grooves in the tires from where the fender wells had rubbed, and they're smoking. The tires are smoking. And the guy, we walk, the three of us are walking into this club, and we look back, and this guy's just looking at his car like,
what's he gonna do?
yeah, but it was like, he's just like, oh. Oh, he tipped him nice. It was just,
we always took care of people.
right.
And like you said, we were never in fights. People that nobody messed with us anyway.
No,
but we didn't mess with anybody. We spent a lot of money, and we had a good time. It was just a bunch of brothers having a good time. But we were never. People probably thought we're fighting in bars. Never.
No.
Never.
No, that'd have been a bad mistake somebody made.
Yeah.
But
we weren't looking for no. We were just out. We were just living the dream. I don't know,
just
having fun.
The best thing, especially with Yoke, like Yoke never wanted to wait in line.
Yeah.
Like, you remember, I think Moncton or someplace up there, we were up there, and there was this big long line to get in, and it's cold and snowing. And we roll up, and we're like, damn, man, look at this line. Yoke, like, this line, come on. We all got our black leather trench coats on anyway, and Yoke just...
He wouldn't even stop.
He never stopped. We just fell in right behind him.
He wouldn't even stop.
The bouncers would be, okay, guys, have a good time. They would be like, yeah, it ain't worth that. You all go ahead and have a good time. And we did.
What was the place that y'all looked forward to going to in the sense of you knew that the party was going to be good after the show?
Everywhere.
Man, everywhere.
No matter where, we had a spot that we'd go. I mean, everywhere.
Yeah, we went to the same places over and over and over again, and people, they knew we were going to spend a lot of money and have a good time, and then also it brought in more people because
Watch his eyes. Watch his eyes. I liked what was that? What was that one place in Canada? Montreal. There was a nice club we used to go to at Montreal. Remember that club?
Any time for a commercial break?
That was a place though that I liked. That was
a nice place.
We can't tell that story, can we? Mm-mm. No. No, I don't even want you to tell that story.
No. No.
But it was.
We may need to get a Patreon level that's $1 million as a first stories like this.
Watch his eyes. Watch his eyes.
Mm. I mean, I can tell that story. That story I can tell, but I don't know.
We got to be careful with the roads we go down. So far, we've been pretty mellow.
We have been very, very gentle with the
stories.
The stories.
But I want you guys to stay on your pot. You get in trouble with us. I mean, we really got into what we. But they were all funny. They were all.
Here's a good one. I think that could be told. Pull that microphone up a little bit too, there,
okay,
Bear. But
I'm scooting back.
So here's a question that I have. Do you think that the table and the bottle of Jack is still waiting for you at the strip club?
Oh, so you would come in and go out. You would work for a while, then you'd go back to Vegas, and you'd go back to work at the Cheetah.
Right.
And so I was coming into town. I was coming in town to work, and so me and Bear are going to meet up. He took the night off, so we are going around. And this was this was the routine when I would come to Vegas, especially in the early years. As soon as I get to town, got settled, he'd come pick me up, and the first person that we'd have to go see is Judge Brown, Seymour Brown.
Seymour Brown.
Right?
You got to have the judge on your side.
You got to have the judge on your side. So that would be our first stop. Every time I'd come to town, we'd go see Judge Seymour Brown. And he'd say, you boys going to be good tonight or all that. He said, you guys know my number if you need me. Okay, from there, then we would go see the mafia guy. I'm not using any names. That's probably the best.
But the mafia guys.
So then we'd go see the maid mafia.
Oh, yeah.
Maid.
Yeah.
Mafia guys. We go in, we'd say, pay our respects there. You guys need anything, let me know. Then we would go see Buff. We'd go by and
Go
see
see
Buff,
Buff.
for. This was for years the routine, and then
Probably
we
some
would go,
bike shops.
yeah, and then we would go out and have our night, right? So it is a Friday or a Saturday night in Vegas at the Cheetah. We come in, and what was the big guy that was the other manager or ran behind the bar? Big guy.
There's a bunch of them. There was anyway.
Anyway, whoever it was, the Cheetah is packed. It is wall to wall, right? I mean, you can't hardly even move in there. It's just me and him. And I wish I could remember his name.
Barry.
Barry goes up to this table that probably sat 10 people, a big round table. And there are drinks, guys getting dances, everything around this table. He makes them all get up. He takes their table away from them, and we take this table, the two of us. It's just me and him. And we've got this huge table.
And what would they set down?
And then the next thing that happened is a gallon jug of Jack Daniels sets down in the middle of the table.
A gallon jug.
A gallon.
Yeah, the big
The big handle on it.
175s.
And we drank there for a couple hours, and he's like, hey, man, let's go see somebody else, another friend of his. We get up, and we leave. We leave the bottle of Jack on the middle of the table. We leave. We go to Old Vegas, see some other friends of his. And we spent a couple hours there. And then he said, hey, let's roll back to the Cheetah, see what's going on. We go back to the Cheetah. I not. We walk in. The table is still empty, and the bottle of Jack is sitting on the table. And the club is packed, and there's not a soul sitting at the table. And that table was, and the whiskey was sitting there waiting on us. I was like, my man is juiced.
I was about to say that's juice, man.
That's not the time we left in a limo and came back on a flatbed, is it?
No,
that was another time.
That's
a whole other story.
I come into town. He's like, dude, because we're in our prime here.
Well, let me 1 second.
Okay, go ahead.
What people don't understand, especially when Jack Lanza was the agent.
Yes.
That when you came to town, you're always the main event. You're on last. Mm-hmm. But when Jack was the agent, Jack would what?
He put me on second.
Yeah. What are you a big bear doing tonight?
He would put me. I would be in the main event. He'd put me on second, and all I want's a story. And we never disappointed. So I'd see him the next night or whatever it was, and he was like, "What'd you and Bear get into?" And I was like, "Oh, Jack, sit down. You ain't gonna believe this."
We started in a limo.
Yes. So I've come into town, and we take precaution. He said, "Man, I got a limousine for it." And I'm talking, the old school stretch limousine, white, just. And that's what we started our night in. And we're going around we're paying, we go see the judge, we go everywhere. Somehow or another, we end up in Old Vegas at some bar. And we actually were there. I think we ran into Smiling Paul.
Yeah.
And he starts drinking with us. And you remember we're walking up the alley.
There's a lady cop or someone.
So we're walking up this alley. It's no wider than this. And we're walking up this alley, and two big old dudes with this little dude between us. So I don't know if she thought we were going to roll him or what. So man, she hits the brights. She hits she hits her lights on top. And, she's still a ways down at the end. She ain't coming up, but she's at the end, got the end blocked, And so we're having this discussion, like, what are you guys doing? And like, taking our friend to his car. Well, what do like she wanted to do good police work, but she didn't really want us to get any closer. I don't think she wanted to shoot us, basically. And we weren't being aggressive or anything, but she finally said, you guys need to find your car and get out of here. Like, that's what we're trying to do. She got in her car, she backed out, and she left. But somehow or another, by the time we got out to the street, our limo had left us. And then somebody that you knew comes rolling up in a flatbed Ford.
Flatbed Ford.
So we left. We started the night in a limousine, and here we are going down the Las Vegas Strip, hanging on to the back of this flatbed Ford.
So you're in the back of it.
Yes. Yeah. Laughing just like that. We were just laughing.
Dude, we had such good times, man. I'm sure you haven't heard some of these stories.
Oh yeah, I mean I've heard a lot of the Philippine story. I think that's the first time I've ever heard that. That's yeah,
man, yeah. There's just so many.
How did you get into wrestling?
I was working at the Cheetahs, not the Cheetahs. This was the Crazy Horse. You've been to the Crazy Horse. That was before Cheetahs. Mm-hmm. You're like, don't say nothing. He's like, what's he gonna say? And they were filming a movie with Sylvester Stallone called, I think it was called Over the Top.
Oh, the arm wrestling.
Arm wrestling one.
Yeah.
Scott Norton was in that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so.
And there was a lot of other guys that weren't big name wrestlers, but that were wrestlers that were extras in that. And they would all come to the bar. Now, back then, you were the bartender, manager, doorman, stocker. You were everything back then. You know, you just handled your business. And a lot of those guys would come in. And, you know, back then, I'm a beast, dude. I mean, I'm working in I got cowboy boots on, a big old rodeo buckle, a tank top, and I'm just big, man. I mean, big. There's pictures. And they're like, dude, you ever think about wrestling? And I'm like, nah. When I grew up in the Bay Area in the 70s. And believe it or not, roller derby was bigger than wrestling back then. A lot bigger in the Bay Area.
I loved roller derby.
Yeah,
that shit was real.
Cow Palace, yeah. The Cow Palace would sell out. The Cow Palace would sell out in roller derby. Only draw half a house with Haystack Calhoun and people like that. And so I'm like, nah. And then they're like, I'm like, nah, I don't really want to do that, man. I got my own thing. And they're like, have you ever heard of this guy, Bam Bam Bigelow? And I'm like, yeah, the dude with all the tattoos on his head. Yeah, I know. I've seen him. They said, well, he made $1 million last year wrestling. I went, wrestling? He made $1 million wrestling? And then everybody's like, dude, you act like a wrestler. You might as well become one because you're as crazy as them guys. They said, you might as well. And then I called where Bam Bam went to the Monster Factory.
Right.
I called Larry Sharp. Now, back then, there's no cell phones. There's you can't just send a picture to somebody. So I kind of described myself to him. He goes, well, if you fly yourself out here to New Jersey, I'll take a look at you and put you up in a hotel. And when I got up, when he see me get off the plane, he says, back then, that's when you could go to the plane and wait right at the door and wait. And I can see in his eyes, he's like, wow.
Ka-ching.
Wow. Next thing I know, I went home.
Did you already have the mohawk then, or what?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, all right.
And so I went home, told my wife, sell the house. I'm moving to New Jersey. When you sell a house, come join me. And that's where I was at school a very short time. I didn't learn anything because me and Larry Sharp would go out every night, and Larry was impressed with the way that I could talk women into doing things. I just say that. That's a nice way to say it.
You get to gift the gab.
I used to, I'm an old man now, but I used to be able to
you could
talk
lay it
my
down.
way into something.
You could lay it down. I give you.
And so I never went to school, and that's the whole, Jerry Lawler thing. That's when Jerry see me, and Jerry's like, let me see you throw a punch. He goes, throw a kick. And he goes, oh, you'll be all right.
I've only got to work with you for a little bit, but the guys after me, boy, they're in trouble. They are going to be in trouble.
But yeah, that's how I got into it.
Oh,
now, you went through a couple of different evolutions of characters, with the Papa Shango and the Kama and everything. How much influence did you have on those characters, or were those characters kind of given to you?
All those characters were given to me. The Godfather was me and my wife's idea, mostly my wife's idea.
Yeah.
And then when Vince heard about it, Vince came to me and he goes, Charles, I hear this might have some legs to it. That's his exact words.
Yeah.
And he goes, I don't know if you remember this. He goes, you think you can get some girls and we can put this on TV? Me, you, and the Harris boys, Ron and Don Harris, went to a strip club and got some girls and brought them back, then put them on TV.
Yep.
Well, they needed a ride, right? They needed an extra car.
We had to talk them into.
That's a long time
That's
ago.
a long time ago.
We were young men.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
So is that where when you went the hose? Would you essentially go to a local strip club in whatever that town was? And
the very first time we went and got the girls. The second time, I think they put Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah, they assigned somebody.
Yeah,
I
they
think.
assigned somebody to
go
get
get
the girls,
girls.
and they would get them from strip clubs. And then as the gimmick, I wish I could tell the other story. Maybe I can't. You can always edit it out, huh?
Oh yeah.
I started thinking, well, where was I at? I started thinking about this other story.
Bruce Pritchard going
So
to get
Bruce would get the girls, and then it got over to the fact that the clubs would call them and say, hey, while you're in town, can we supply the girls? And then I would show up, and then depending on how much time I had in my match is how many girls I would bring out, because it would take so long to do all your stuff, to get to the ring, get in the ring, do your whole Godfather show in the ring, get the girls out of the ring, have some type of a 2-3 minute 2-minute match, and then get the girls back in the ring.
Yeah.
And so that's why if you see me with only a couple girls, it was going to be quick.
It's gonna be a quick match. Yep.
But if I had 4 or 5, it was good chances it was going to be a little longer.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this. I don't even think you know this about the deal that I had with the girls.
Oh no. Go. Hey, I don't know. Maybe go ahead. Do tell.
I don't know if I want to get myself in trouble here.
Oh yeah. Well yeah. It's,
The girls, when the girls did it, they would have so much fun. I mean, most of them were wrestling fans. They're around the boys. They're in front of the people. They're having the time of their lives. And we treated them well.
Right.
Okay? They were treated really well. And so they would come to me and say, hey, my manager at the strip club, he called me last time, but I'd really like to do this again. And I'm like, really? And I'm like, okay, this is what I want. That's it. This is not even going where you think it's going. I'm telling you.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, this is going to surprise you, but then it's not going to surprise you. Okay, so I'm like, this is what I want from you. I said, when I'm in town, all you have to do is show up and say you're one of Godfather's girls, and I'll vouch for you. This is what I want. I said, I want your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever it is, your friend, to get me the best weed. I said, get me a half an ounce of the best weed you can get. And then they would be like, okay. I'm like, and you know what? Your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your significant other will be so glad that you're not doing this, that they're going to get me some good weed. And so the girls would show up, and that's where I'd get it from. And after you made the loop once or twice, you'd get to know the girls.
Right.
So the girls would bring it to me.
See, that's networking right there, buddy.
Is that pimping?
That's
It
pimping.
ain't easy.
You thought I was going to say something else. By that time, I changed.
You changed by then.
Denise
your
changed me. Denise, by that time, I changed.
Yeah. Your priorities had changed.
Yeah.
Well, I think the big question is when you were the Godfather and you would, have the girls and everything else, and they'd come to the ring. Do you think that he actually liked those hoes?
Who's he?
Undertaker.
Who's it? Why?
Why is he trying to stir this up?
Yeah. He's getting to something. Well, you ribbed me. He's trying to get to a point where you ribbed me. You got me. You got me.
You know what I say about? I said if anybody else would have did that to him, they might have got fired.
Yeah. Well.
But they know he loves me, so they're not going to fire me. He had no. Well, who wants to set this up?
Well, I mean, it's
You
your
have
story.
the.
here.
You have the
Oh,
clip.
the clip is available.
Do we want to see the clip first, or?
Yeah, we can. We got to get through a commercial.
You're talking
here.
about being nervous all day, right? Now, normally, if I see my name on the page, and I'm working with Bear, I say, "Oh, this is going to be cake." But now he's the Godfather, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to work my character. But I'm thinking my boy is going to be all right, and he's going to take care of me. And
instead, this
is
what
what he
happens.
does to me.
For a long time, and I know that you like hoes.
Wait.
I don't think everything's dead, but if it is, these girls will.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
That's
How did you
Dude.
not break during that?
dude. I had indentions inside of my lip from biting it. I was thinking about run over puppies and everything else that I could possibly think of not to crack, because I'm thinking, this son of a bitch, this mother.
If you listen real close, when I said, I know you like hoes, Paul Bearer goes,
He loves those.
oh, because see, he had no idea what I was
No,
going
I
to say,
had
like
no
you said. And I don't know, I could tell by my eyes, I might have been a little medicated, but I'm just having fun, man. And I was trying to get him to crack, though.
When did you think about doing? I mean, was that something you had thought about all day, or something like?
I do things on the cuff, man. Right? I don't know how it happened, but it wasn't something I was thinking about all day, because it was probably put together. I think it was leading into something with Kane or something. Because this wasn't, he beats on me and lights go out and something happens. But they put me in a lot of situations like that just to put you on TV
Yeah.
and not try to hurt you too bad.
Yeah.
And what was going through your head the whole? I mean, you were just like,
I'm cussing him like a dog inside of my head. Just
What happened in the locker room after this?
I was like, well, then it's just like it is now.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
man, why you got to do me like that?
Yeah,
You know, nobody talks to the Undertaker like that.
I know
Why
you
you got to
like
bring up
hoes.
hoes to the Undertaker?
I know you
And he's
like
laughing
hoes.
just like he's laughing right now. Is exactly how he was laughing in the locker room. He was so proud of himself. He thought, and that was it was close. Yeah.
Did the office say anything about that? Mm-hmm. Did the office?
Vince loved it.
Yeah.
He
Vince,
anything that was close to getting me to crack, he would.
He was all over it.
He was all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my boy right there. He just.
That's your best
Yeah,
friend.
that's my boy right there. Yeah. Oh man.
you know, I've wrestled him as Papa Shango, Kama Mustafa, Godfather, and Wright to Censor. I have been in so many caskets. Do you know how many caskets I've been in? Well, I tell you what, when I died, you're not putting me in no casket. 'Cause I'm
We got
tired
an
of
we got an urn here.
We
for
got
you.
an urn for you.
Oh my God, I wrestled him with so many different people.
Oh Lordy. He just kept changing names.
But you know what happened? There'd be a point where I wasn't making a lot of money, and I'm like, Vince, I could go home and make a lot more money and just look at naked women all day, man. What
Not
am I,
bad
you know?
living right there.
You know? And so I would go home, and then something would happen. Somebody would call me. They want to come back. And I'd be like, yeah, I missed the road. And I'd come back, and then, yeah, I'd go. I always had the strip clubs to go back to.
Yeah.
And so you always had a way of making income. So, you know.
You know, there was something that kind of got brought up that I wanted to ask both of y'all about that I never thought of. Do you think that during the Ministry of Darkness, do you think the Papa Shango character would have worked in the Ministry of Darkness somehow?
Oh, obviously we could have made it work, but I
Yeah.
mean, he was.
I know that
You were already doing Godfather.
It was already
Yeah.
Godfather,
Yeah,
but do you
yeah,
think
yeah.
that character could have potentially have worked in the?
I don't know that it, man. I think it would have pissed people off more because that character, man, when that whole train music started, I mean, that was, there was some of the loudest pops.
Oh,
yeah.
They loved the Godfather.
You know what little sneaky thing I did is I was getting I was getting such a pop. I was like, how can I get a louder pop? So what I started doing is I would go out without the girls, so I'd get that initial pop,
Right.
And then they'd turn on me. They start booing me and
'Cause they
stuff. and
want
I'd
the
be like,
girls.
yeah, I'd be like, hang on. And then
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would wind up and
Yeah.
point to the girls, and that second pop was even bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
And they used to say, lay off for the Godfather's pop.
Yeah, see, that's old school right there, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, being able to use them and understand that, you know, how to incorporate that the right, not just
Yes.
bringing them out right off the rip like that. That's that's progressing the
That
character.
second pop was crazy.
Yeah, that's,
He had learned a lot since '89.
yeah. You grew somewhat.
I said, let me entertain him. I love that. That character is so much me that it's just funny. Not the bear, but Charles Wright. It's pretty cool though to be able to get paid to just be yourself.
Yeah. Now, when you were the Godfather, what did that do for you when you would go to the strip clubs or when you, I mean, because I felt like the places would want a guy like you at their venue in town.
You know, back then we didn't get hassled too much because most of the guys, they were there to see the girls.
Yeah.
And I think that's another reason we hit strip clubs so much because you didn't really get bothered. You always had a section. People would be cool with you for the most part, but they were there looking at the girls.
But no, people always think we're full of crap when we say that we went just because we didn't get bothered there.
Yeah, you didn't get bothered there.
And everybody think, "Oh man, y'all went there for the girls." Yeah, that was the least. All we wanted to do was hang out and drink. That was the biggest thing we wanted to do.
The best place to hang out was topless clubs.
Yeah, because all the
you could
guys,
have girls anywhere.
Yeah.
That wasn't a big thing.
Yeah, the guys they come there to see girls, so they weren't interested in what we had going on. So we were just drinking and having fun.
On your question, it's hard because Godfather is a pimp. You know, so it's hard to bring a pimp in here, and especially these days you couldn't do it. But you know what I mean?
No, you get canceled these days.
Oh, yeah. Could you imagine calling girls hoes?
Oh, yeah, your character does not work in 2024.
No. Thank God I had the...
Wait, let's figure out how to make your character politically correct. How would we do this in 2024? Would you have to know their...
All the hoes are transgender. I don't know.
How does that make it okay?
I don't know, but it's like... I don't know.
You'd have to call them by name or...
What would they be?
At least their proper pronouns. I don't know. I don't know.
Working persons. You are the...
I am the facilitator of adult entertainment.
Undertaker, I know that you like working persons. And...
But you couldn't get away with none of that stuff that we were doing back then. None of it. I always tell people Val Venus was worse than me. The things he would say.
Oh man, yeah.
Whew.
Val was, he pushed the envelope.
He definitely pushed the envelope.
And the cool thing is, I was never scripted. There, you can tell.
Yeah.
But I was never scripted unless you had to hit a certain town or a certain event. I was never scripted. Not one time did they say. They would just say, "Hey, you got 6 minutes."
6 minutes. Give me.
And so I would literally think of what I was going to do, just find out who I'm working against, say something funny about them, and do your thing. It was more of a show than anything else. It was entertaining the people.
Did you ever feel like, man, these folks are only wanting to see me tonight just because of the hose and this and what I'm going to say and everything else? And did you ever go, man, I'm a really good worker in the ring? Do you feel like people forget about that part sometimes?
That really never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what I am.
Yeah.
And so that never really crossed my mind. You know, because if you had to go, you could go.
Yeah. Because, I mean, your work is really good. I think a lot of people just sometimes they just think about you coming out with all the hose and your promos and everything else that were absolutely amazing, right?
Honestly,
those checks cashed too.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't give that a second.
That's why it's called sports entertainment, bro.
Yeah, man, it is what it is.
There's enough wrestling.
Yeah.
You had to break. You had to break
Vince
it up.
that. I actually said, Vince, they see enough wrestling. I'm like, let me go out there and just entertain them, just have some fun.
Yeah.
And we came up with that whole Godfather. I'm telling you, me and Bradshaw came up with that on the road.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
I'm wrestling Bradshaw, right?
Yeah.
I'm whoever I am, and he's whoever. People cared. We're popcorn match, which is the match right after intermission. That's just to get people back in their seats, right? Mm-hmm. So we're the popcorn match. Me and Johnny are going 10, 12 minutes, beating the hell out of each other, having fun doing it, but beating the hell out of each other. And the people are sitting on their hands. We're getting no reaction whatsoever. They didn't care about him or me.
Yeah.
All right?
That's hard.
So one night we're in Louisville. And I tell Johnny, I'm like, hey, let's try something different. Jack Lanz is the agent. I go, Jack, can we try this? He's like, hey, let's give it a shot. So I talked to John. So I go out there now, and I used to dress with like a black vest, black pants, those hats. So I kind of looked a little bit like a pimp. It was more of a biker look to me. But I go out there, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to say it. I'm a pimp. And you get little giggles in the outfit. I say, but what you don't know is right here in Louisville, man, they got some of the best hoes ever born. And now I got a little bigger reaction. And then I'd point things out. So then Johnny would come out. I had no girls whatsoever. I was like, Johnny, in the back, in a limo right now, I got 5 of the nastiest hoes you've ever seen in your life. And they'll do whatever your freaky country ass wants to do. And people are and I'm like, what do you people think? And the people are now going, take the hose, take the hose, take them. Like, the people are telling you what to do. Now, mind you, we're going 10, 12 minutes with no reaction. So now I'm 6 minutes in on a speech and they're yelling, take the hose,
there you go.
Take the hose. Johnny would say, hey, take the hose, the place would pop. And then I'd get the mic and start healing on the people. And then Johnny would turn and buzz and turn around. I still have my hat and everything on. I'd turn around, Johnny would hit me with the clothesline. 1, 2, 3, I'd pop up and say, man, pimping ain't easy. And it popped. And then we did it the next night. And then when we got to TV, Vince is when Vince says, I hear this might have some legs to it, this little thing you're doing.
I didn't think I knew that. I don't think I knew that part of it.
Yeah.
I think y'all should have just tried it once and just let him go. I bet they'd have popped like hell. If you work them up that much and then just let John go and never come back, and you're like, or let him come back all disheveled and just.
Y'all walk out together to take him back there, and then 3 matches later, you come back and he's disheveled and everything.
That's how it started. That's really how it started.
I don't remember
we
that.
did
That's
2
that's
shows,
funny.
and then said that, and we put it on TV.
Oh man, that's good. That's good. I see. You learn something new all the time, man.
That is.
I didn't know the origins. I didn't
Denise,
know.
my wife, came up with all the color. She had the hats. She had somebody making the costumes. I don't know if you know this, but the vest that had the sayings on the back, I would never wear the same vest on TV twice.
Right.
And so I would always get, Denise had somebody, I would get 2 new vests a week, the pants, the coat, the jewelry. She was taking care of all. I didn't want to wear the blue hats. You know, I was a biker, dude. You know, I'm mostly, I'd be wearing black, normally all black. I don't want to wear the blue hat. I don't want to wear the green pants.
But you're going to wear that blue hat.
Yeah, she's like, I'm telling you, baby. I'm like, no, I want to do that. I don't want, hard-headed.
Yeah.
But everything that she got me to do worked out pretty well.
Damn.
Yeah. Was that the character where maybe did you feel more comfortable and everything as the Godfather than you did any other character that you?
Of course.
Yeah, I mean,
just
that was
me.
just, yeah.
It's me being out there just talking having fun.
Was it almost kind of like man, finally, I get to be.
Vince told me one time, you ought to be paying me. And I'm like, if you let me keep doing this, maybe I will. Dude, I was having time of my life, man, because I was like Ric Flair, man. I was the Godfather 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they allowed me to be the Godfather, so it was cool.
That's got to make it fun. That's got to. You're not working at that point,
dude. I look forward to going to work.
Right? Yeah, like, I ain't taking no bumps today.
Yeah, I'd go 2 weeks without taking a bump.
Yeah,
that's golden right there. Speaking of taking bumps, so how you feeling now, man? I know you've had some surgeries and you're getting things fixed just like I am.
Yes.
So how you feeling, man?
I
overall?
feel great. I came down from 305, 310. Now I'm 250. Changed the way I eat, what I eat, how I eat. I feel great. My knee, I'm starting to walk much better. I had my hip replaced 2 Decembers ago.
Right.
And then last December, I had my knee replaced. So in 1 year, I had those 2 surgeries. And the weight loss, the training, I'm doing real good.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm real happy where I'm at right now.
Taking care of yourself.
Yes, sir. That's important. Like I said last night, if I'd have known we were going to live this long.
Yeah, we talked about it last night. We were like, man, we'd have took better care of ourselves if we'd have known we were going to live this long. And then we looked at each other and we went, nah. We wouldn't have changed
stories.
We wouldn't have changed the thing. We knew modern medicine was going to save us at the end. But yeah, that's one of those reasons. Like, and I think it gets lost on people a lot of times. You know, back in the day, you know, the way we came up, like, if anybody marked the business or, oh, that stuff's all fake, we used to get really bent out of shape about it. And I don't think it's so much of what wrestling is, but I always feel like disrespected in what it takes to be a wrestler and the ramifications of what it is that we do. I don't think people. I think they're learning now. Just what it takes and the toll that it takes. Like, people don't realize there's no off season. There's no, and our schedule. I mean, man, we grinded hard.
We're 300.
Yeah, it just. So I think a lot of times with me that I get a little hair on the back of my neck stands up when somebody starts marking the business too much, because they don't understand that the human body, regardless of how well you're trained or untrained,
One more jab.
Well, no, but
It's going to take its toll.
it's going to take its toll because
gonna
the
catch
human
up to you.
body's not
No.
made to take the trauma like that day in and day out. And
The human body's not meant to be on the road 300 days out of the year.
Yeah.
Just that.
The road alone
that
will kill
right
you.
there.
the road
alone.
and especially the bigger guys too. Like,
Yeah.
and you're jammed in until you get some juice or some points, and you're jammed in a Southwest flight in a middle seat for 3 hours trying to get to wherever. Your body is just locked down. And then as we get older, then it starts to break down. And fortunately, we've kind of taken care of ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, we got some bad habits, but
For the
but
most
part, though, that you take care of yourself. But yeah,
I've learned.
Yeah, it's
And you were making fun of me last night, like, come on, man, eat some red meat, and I'm like, I do.
you should.
What
Hey,
was your dinner? What'd you eat?
I had chicken,
There you go.
and it was firecracker chicken. I ate a few potatoes, and what else? I tried the calamari,
The calamari was
and then
good.
that coleslaw or salad,
Yeah,
whatever it had,
yeah.
was really good. So
Yeah, Dennis was giving it all. It was naming it all and telling us what was in it and how delicious it was. And
Dennis/Midian is literally the most unique person that's ever walked the face of the earth. He walks in last night like he just got out of jail or a biker bar, and he's over there sniffing the wine. He's going through these different bourbons of what you should taste and everything else. And he looked at Maven and he goes, "All right, there's 4 roses. You're going to get an oaky taste." And Maven's like, "I don't know what oak tastes like." He's like, and then when it comes to the food, like, he's breaking it down, like, and you look at him and you
Never-
don't judge the book by its cover.
Not with him.
yeah, no,
With me, you can.
he's quite the chef, man.
Yeah.
He's really.
But no, it's that is we talked about it, earlier today, but last night was fun.
Yes.
Going to dinner, and I look down and I see you two and Midian talking, and it's like, I feel like it was 30 years ago. Just
Yeah, that is the part. I miss that more than anything. More than I think at this point, more than the working part.
Right.
Is the going out and hanging out and the dominoes and the cards and all the
stories
stuff.
and-
The stories, man. That was what was so cool. Was always the stories and
We must have been there an hour or so after they closed. We were still there telling stories.
yeah, just
They were so polite there. You must spend a lot of money there, or just being you, because the table, everybody else is cleared. The floors have been cleaned. They're doing this and that.
they had the
And
mop
our-
buckets.
yeah.
Everybody, ours is just full of stuff, and they just let us stay there as long as we wanted.
Yeah,
That
no,
was
they were
cool.
really nice. That's a good place, and they treat me treat me pretty well there. So,
They're good folks.
but that was, and it was a mild night. It wasn't anything. No, it was.
Not one shot of Jack.
Huh?
We didn't have
Right,
one
right.
shot
Not
of
one
Jack.
shot.
Not one.
Very disappointing.
Yeah,
you
see,
know,
you're the instigator.
Very disappointing to
see?
see that.
We've
you know.
changed. We've changed.
Y'all got a reputation to hold up.
No, see, that's the problem. Is
Yeah.
that people have heard our reputation and everybody wants to contribute to us being degenerates and.
I was
You're
surprised.
you stir it up.
Yeah,
I can see that
will.
in you.
Yeah.
And you try to do it nice and politely, but you're something. You're a stir. You stir the pot.
I just
Well, you called him out earlier
Yeah.
at the event at the 9 Line event.
I just happened to put a bottle of. I asked them politely to put a bottle on the table just so you wouldn't have to.
That's all we need is bottles just to end up at our table without us getting up.
I just wanted y'all to feel comfortable and be able to
do
be
what we did.
Just
He wanted us to do what we did.
He wanted us to do what we
He
did.
wanted us to get drunk and bid on everything. I figured y'all out, brother. This ain't my first rodeo. It's like they got cues now. Like there's people walking around. You'll see Matt go. It's like bring in the second bottle.
just get the second bottle with the hot chick.
Warm them up.
I really can't drink it like that anymore. I'm not joking. It's just that night really screwed me. It really made me sick to where like I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital sick.
That's during my show, that's about the only time really that I drink, and it just depends on the flow of the show, like how much I do drink.
People want you to drink now.
We'll go to on these hunting trips and stuff, and we'll go to these lodges. And a lot of times with the lodge, they're like, what do you like to eat? What do you like to drink? Things like that, And they just have heard all the stories of the years of him drinking Jack, and there'll always be some type of novelty-sized bottle of Jack at the lodge, and it won't even get touched.
I won't touch it.
It would just be dust on it by the time we leave, right? And it's just after we get done hunting or whatever, you might have a few beers or something, but yeah, I think
Dude, I don't need to be pounding the Jack and then put a firearm in my hand. That's
That's another thing.
That's not a good. That's not a good mix. Or having to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning with a when you went to sleep at 2, and then try and function.
We did our share. We put in our drinking time,
bro.
We shouldn't have to prove it anymore.
No.
We put in our drinking time.
That's for sure.
A barrel. Like you said earlier, I bet you we have drinking over a barrel of Jack Daniels.
That's probably, yeah.
I know that's a lot.
I know
but
as a
over
group,
the years, especially as a group,
as the BSK.
Well, think about it. You had a barrel sent to you. How many bottles of Jack was that?
So they took all those single barrels. I think I sent you some. I don't know how many. There had been 32 cases with 6 bottles in each case. And the barrel is, you know what?
So let's call it 200 bottles come out of a barrel, maybe?
Probably something like that.
Oh, we've done
So
that.
over, a 36-year friendship, 200 bottles of Jack. I know of 4 that I've put my eyes on. Just in 2 nights, I've got 4 that I'm accounting for that I've watched you guys do. So yeah,
and that's so funny is that I guess it's just a sign of getting older. It's like I said earlier, that never happened back in the day. That we got to the point that we were in Vegas, or in Savannah. It was just, we never were like that.
Also, you think about 25 years ago, do you think would you have ever thought that last night's dinner would have just been nice grilled chicken, nice steak, and a glass of red wine?
Oh, man.
I'm glad it is.
How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, we put in our time, man.
Shoo. We put our,
and we're still here.
We're still here to tell it all. So, and most of it I don't know about most of it. I can remember a lot of it. Our stories I can definitely remember. I just can't tell them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what are you doing these days? What's the Godfather doing?
Believe me, I'm basically retired. I have some little business adventures. I'm not doing anything in the cannabis business right now. I might come out with some seeds, but I do some shows, man. I'm really just enjoying life, spending a lot of time with my wife and my 3 pit bulls, and I go shooting once a week. I'm just enjoying, man. I'm just enjoying life.
Yeah.
Not looking to do too much. Not. I travel a lot, but I'm trying to get off of that too. But I'm just relaxing. I got a gym at home now. You know what was weird? Is I've had my own gym at the house for a while now, right?
Right.
And I worked out this morning at the hotel, and there's like 5 or 6 people in there. And it was the weirdest feeling in the world to be in there, and this one's on the treadmill on the phone, and this one's over here doing stupid shit, and this one, and I'm like, wow, what? I couldn't work out with people anymore. Now that you have your own gym, I could not work out with people.
Yeah, that's
It just
the
was
phone.
uncomfortable.
Everybody's got a phone.
I mean, you're
Everybody's doing
training
that.
and they're looking at you, and you're like, it was a weird feeling.
Now you got a gym. Do you like working out at home versus going to like a Gold's or something like that?
You know what? Now I do. Now, because right now I'm kind of in a zone where I'm like I'm pissed. Like yesterday and today, I'm not going to get a chance to work out.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, oh crap, man, I'm missing workouts, which I go through phases where it bothers me, and then there's other times where like, I could care less. But right now I'm in that phase where I like to work out, and then transitioning into my own gym. There's something about the atmosphere that took me a little bit of time to not have to, but it became so difficult to go to the Golds and work out because everybody wants to talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like you said, I've got a limited amount of time that I got to get this in, and I can't talk about what happened on Monday night, and because I didn't watch it, and then two, I got to work out, man.
Yeah.
So now I'm comfortable in my own. I can play the music I want to listen to.
Work out in your underwear.
I can work out butt ass naked if I want to.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it would take an effort. If you want to see me to work out naked, it would take an effort to get to my place and see me work out naked. But as scary as that might seem to be to a lot of people, it actually made me a little nauseous thinking about it. But yeah. But I love training.
Yeah,
at my place.
I couldn't go back another way. I wouldn't even want to. It's too weird now.
Yeah.
I listen to my music.
Yeah.
Just anyway, I'm glad that I was mad at her at first.
Yeah.
Denise, she spent a lot of money, and at this point, I'm like, oh, we don't need to be living that life right now, And she spent a lot of money for a thermal sauna that's inside my house, that gym in my garage.
Right.
Then she got me a new jacuzzi. And the bill to that was like, oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Guess what? The best three things in my life is that gym, that thermal sauna, and that jacuzzi I use every day. And God bless her for getting that for me.
You know what she needs to get you? She needs to get you a cold plunge.
That's what she's going to get next. She was telling me that.
The cold plunge
She's
is where
like,
it's
we
at.
got to get a cold plunge.
Yeah. It sucks balls, but man, will it talking about kicking in your endorphins and your energy? Holy crap, man! It's amazing.
I have the feeling one's coming.
Yeah, that's.
But I'm not going to fight her on it. I'm like, yeah, because everybody keeps telling me it's the way to go, and she's like, no, you need a cold plunge. All the shit.
Did you do
doing.
ice baths back in the day or any of that? I mean,
There was a gym called Eiferman's Gym in Vegas, and they had a cold dip.
yeah.
And people, we didn't even know why, but after, we just did it because it was like, go get in the cold dip. We didn't know why, but we'd get in there after powerlifting. We'd get in there.
Yeah. It's amazing. I love a cold plunge.
We didn't even know why we were doing it. We just, all right.
I was this joker once. I come to Vegas and we go to work out at Gold's, and I don't even think we were going to even do chest. I think we were going to do like back and biceps or something like that. And there's this meathead. He's got 315 on the bar. He's going to bench, and him and his buddy they are psyching themselves up. Oh, come on, man. Just making a show of it, right? Oh, come on, brother, you got it yet? And he's slapping him on the chest, and the guy's, he's got his smelling salts and all this, and he goes and the guy unracks it. The guy, he ekes out. I don't even know if it would have been a rep, but he ekes it out and he re-racks it. Yeah, and his buddy's slapping him all over the place, right? Cold. We just walked in the gym. He sits down on the bench. These guys are looking like they've gone from celebrating this horrible one rep, and he's going. The plates are rattling. He's boom, 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 boom. He racks. I don't know. He did 10, 12 reps with 315, cold as could be. And he looked at me and then like, shut the up.
So you don't have to make all that noise.
Just like.
So you've wrestled a lot of guys. When it comes to him, people talk about guys that are just strong in the ring. Where do you rank him as those?
Yeah, especially early on. Yeah,
Early on.
Yeah, he's strong, man. He could put you where he wanted to put you.
Yeah.
I used to be strong.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I was powerlifting. I was strong.
Yeah. I remember, I think you had just left. You were going, I think you were finishing up, and remember they brought you back because we were going to Puerto Rico, and you can't. I don't know how big you were, but we were in a airport bar. You had to have been touching 350.
Oh, that was, yeah. I came back
He
in.
was massive. And anyway, we're in this hotel bar. There's a bunch of us. And he took a full-size shot glass, and he's sitting like I'm sitting. And he took a full-size shot glass, and he set it on his chest. And see how mine's falling?
Yeah.
His sat there like that. I was like, how much do you weigh right now? He's like, I don't know. It was just like, poop. He's got a shot glass sitting on his chest.
Billy Gunn tells that story.
I remember, dude.
I
remember your ass when we got down to Puerto Rico. Your ass was sweating too. It was hot, but it was coming out, man.
Yeah, that was heavy. I'm like 100 pounds less than that probably right now.
Isn't that crazy to think though? Sometimes,
wild.
right? It's
100 pounds less.
Jeez, that's
Still here.
you still here and you still smiling, brother.
Yeah, man. Life's good.
Life is good, man. Thanks for coming. Oh, I couldn't hold off any longer. Like people have been itching for this interview or this whatever it is we do. But,
Yeah.
You got to come back. And if we hit, what is it? We're going to hit 1 million.
I think if we hit 1 million, I think we put something together maybe for WrestleMania at Vegas.
You in?
You know I'm in.
Get the boys back together and y'all just do your thing.
Good group of guys, man.
Yeah.
But no, thank you for having me on here, man.
Man,
I
always
wish
good to
we
see
could.
you.
I wish we could tell some of the other stories, but maybe we'll do a nightclub show one day or something.
We'll get there. No, we'll get there. We got to ease. This is a new audience. We got to ease them into some of this. And
There may be some Patreon stories where it's behind a paywall for people to.
I have to figure out the edits. Nothing, anybody that's wondering, nothing illegal.
No,
nothing
there's
illegal.
Nothing illegal.
no, nothing.
It's just.
I mean, maybe morally corrupt, but
morally, yeah.
I think it's more of a wanting to keep a happy home for everyone.
well, yeah. I mean, the statute of limitations is run out on all that. If they do run out with I don't think they do they?
I'm scared of Michelle, so I'm just gonna.
Hey,
Yeah.
I've been ever since Godfather. I got a good record.
You've been good, man.
Ever since Godfather, I can't say before Godfather, but ever since I was Godfather, I've had a clean record. I've been doing good.
Well,
Leaving them hoes alone.
They bring you down, man.
They bring it down quick.
Well, man, Matt, you want to hit our sponsors,
yes,
please?
I want to thank Happy Dad for making this happen today. Happy Dad Texas on this can. What you think about that? Happy Dad First Form. And you put a little bit of Happy Dad and First Form together in a shaker and just.
We got to name that. That's the cocktail right there.
It'll put you 6 feet under.
Man.
But
that is a nice mix.
It is. It's the Deadman drink there. But Happy Dad, First Form, Wiley X, Blue Chew, all those people for keeping us going. We really appreciate it. And most of all, Godfather, thank you for showing up. I've enjoyed over the last few years getting to know you and then getting to know this relationship. And it is every story gets better. And just like the fish that you catch, the fish continues to get bigger as well. So the stories usually evolve and by every year. So I love hearing how the stories evolve as well.
We embellish. I don't think we embellish. That's the problem. Is the stories aren't embellished.
But
I think what happens is another cell in your brain comes alive to where you can remember certain things.
Yes.
And you're like,
And
actually, I remembered that part of the story.
I
now.
remember there was a deer.
Yeah, that deer.
And you went a full 10 yards and not 10
But because
feet.
of the deer. The deer wasn't there, I would have been straight.
Man, you'd have made it all the way in.
Yeah, it was the deer. The deer.
You
He was looking away. He didn't see the deer.
Yeah,
I went deer. He thought I was saying something else. Deer.
Yeah.
10 yards.
I think you want to award that year from PETA for saving that deer's life. I mean, I got frostbite, but hey, the deer got to run off into the woods.
I also believe this relationship and this friendship was sponsored by Jack Daniels for the last 36 years. And
I'd like to thank Jack Daniels.
Yes. Thank you.
Without Jack Daniels, these stories don't happen.
Yeah. And you know what? We didn't even get into the early years of our WWE run where we used to fight every night.
Yeah, we used to fight every night, like chop each other to where you woke up the next day and you were just raw meat chopping each other. We used to beat each other up.
It was
seriously.
And you hated being
being chopped, and we would beat the crap out of each other.
Love you, bro.
I love you, man. Fight.
And you're just doing this in a hotel room, bar,
Anywhere.
Well, I think we finally come to the conclusion that, like, why do we do this every night? It was in a bar in Hull. It was a small little bar, and we got into it and started. I mean, just smashing each other. And I remember this little waitress came up and she goes, "Just so y'all know, they are thinking about calling the police on you two." And then we just had this moment of clarity, like,
why are we doing this?
why do we do this every night?
Yeah.
I don't know,
Or
man.
him giving me his Rolex every night.
I've heard these stories of him.
I love you, bro.
Here, man, take this. The next day at the airport, he go, "Hey, man, here's your watch back. Here's your watch back." Oh, thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Hey, you wait. I'll let you get out of here. But he just, so 2 days ago, he sends me a picture. He sends me a picture, and it says, "Is this the hat?" So you've heard the story of the fight over the hat, right?
Yes.
Someone sent him a picture with me in the hat. And he sends it to me like 2 days before you got here. He goes, "Hey, is this the hat?" And he didn't need to explain anything else. I knew exactly what the hell he was talking about because it was the hat that we got in the fight in the hotel room over that he made me take the hat. And it was that hat. And I was just, that made me so happy that day, seeing that picture with that hat and that story.
Who's got the hat?
I don't know where the hat's at now. That was
Somebody
25,
sent me the picture
30 years ago.
not knowing about the hat. They're like, "Oh, this picture, old picture of Taker." I think, who was it? Somebody else was in the picture.
Yeah, I think it was some Mark.
But there was, so I looked at it and I'm like, "That's the hat."
Yep.
Because I remember it was more of a riverboat gambler kind of one. And I'm like, "That's the hat." And I texted him right away. Is this the infamous hat? He goes, "That's it."
That's the one right there. That was a knockdown drag out for that hat, man.
But we did that so much. That wasn't just a one-time thing, dude.
No.
I don't know why we would do that. We didn't get enough physical in the ring that we're beating each other. Why would we? Love you, bro.
Yeah.
Love you, man.
Anybody else we'd have stomped their guts out, but it was just something we'd end up doing every single night.
You're right. I remember us one day saying, "Why are we doing this?"
Yeah. My shirt. Yeah, that's early Undertaker with the long black hair, and I mean, not that I ain't right now, but like ghost white, and just my shirt ripped open and just handprints all over me, and I love you, man. You want a shot?
Jack Daniels.
Oh my goodness, man! Hey, thanks again, brother. It's so fun catching up. I don't know, man. I don't even know this should be even a show, but they're gonna love this. They better, because I'm sure it's gonna. What stories can't you tell?
Well, the only thing I can say is I think this episode deserves a Montreal clap.
We got to tell that story one. No, I don't,
Hey, you know what?
I don't know if we could ever tell that. Well, what?
It's not on me. I didn't do anything.
Well, I don't care because that was way before Denise.
Way before it. All right, let's save it. We'll save it.
Let's save it.
You want to save that
I want to
story?
save it because it's
All
a good story.
We'll give it a Montreal clap.
A little
then
Montreal
to end this show here.
A little Montreal golfers clap.
Golfers
Yes.
clap. It's called the golfers clap. Well done.
Well done.
Yes.
Well done.
Well done. Well done. That story for a future.
Have you heard the
time.
story?
Oh, I've heard the
Okay.
story,
Yes.
and it's one of my favorites, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So, as we've done with the Las Vegas One Dead Man show, we'll keep everyone on the edge of their seat waiting for the
1 million
Montreal
subscribers, brother. You get
1 million.
You get the golf clap story, and you get the story of me waking up on the bathroom floor
In Vegas.
in Vegas.
And me calling him asking, where am I at?
How do you call somebody? Tell me this. How do you call somebody in their hotel?
Taker,
Not knowing
do you know
where you're
I'm
at?
right now?
I think you did a callback on that, and I'm going to see if I have it because I think you, a couple of years ago in Savannah. Let me see if I still have that text message. Mark and Charles. It got deleted. You text me the next morning after the event in Savannah, and you went, "Hey Matt, hey Taker, where am I?"
I remember you and me being pretty bad getting to our rooms.
Oh yeah, I was hungry. I was hungry.
In Savannah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I drop you guys off. He puts me in a sleeper hold in the parking lot. He's like, I got a wrestling move I want to show you, man.
Wrestling move.
And I'm like, it's all just like 9line people there. It's all the sponsors and everything. And now it's, 1 a.m. They're all like drunk and stuff. And they're seeing, this dude put me in a sleeper hold. Nobody's coming to my assistance. The COO of the company was like, I get out of the car and I walk by and I was like, hey, Undertaker. And he was like, ugh. He was like, he just ruined my childhood. We walk in, and the country singer Mark Wills is in the lobby waiting on pizza. This cat goes in, he goes, Mark Wills, you're my favorite country singer of all time. And he's just yelling in the lobby of the Westin. And I'm like, oh, Jesus.
I think you might be embellishing a little bit at this point.
No. The next morning, you were using a boot for a pillow. And yeah.
Jack Daniels, if you please.
Knock me to my knees.
It did that to you,
right,
gentlemen,
man.
that night.
This was fun.
This was a blast, an absolute blast. So, well, Godfather,
Hey,
thank
get
you,
back
brother.
to Vegas.
Head to Vegas, buddy.
When you come out there and see me soon, we gotta go shooting.
I'll be there in January, for sure.
Shot show.
Shot show.
I'm going this year. I can walk.
I got a pass waiting.
I haven't been able to go like the last 3 or 4 years because I haven't been able to walk.
If you're going, I'm going to go. Who's not going? Because I need a pass too. Somebody's getting the boot.
We can get passes. Passes are easy.
Oh, you're just worried about. Oh, you worried about us?
I got
Godfather, he's worried about us.
Why would you, after all this?
I
you
got
see
a-
us
Are you
last
part
night?
of the team or are you not
I've
part
got a
of the team?
reputation to hold up in that industry. I just,
Wow.
That's really.
Now we should really turn it up for one night.
Oh,
for
one,
him.
just let it go.
Let it go one night, just for you.
all right. We'll do it.
We'll see you in Vegas.
See you in Vegas. All right, let's get out of here.
Yes.
We out.